Yo, it's Joe and welcome to another video. So guys, if you're not aware, I just got finished live streaming my reaction to episodes 7 through 9 of season 3 of The Legend of Vox Machina, and I wanted to give my thoughts on the key moments that happened within that episode. And if you guys want to see that, it's already available now. For channel members, the whole uncut live streams of my reactions to 7 through 9 is all in one video. Become a channel member so you can join the next time I go live and I live stream this stuff. And if you want to see it now, check it out. Starting off with Cloak and Dagger, episode 7. That was quite the gut punch at the end, was it not? I wanted to talk about the themes behind that episode. In the beginning, we see a young Anna, young Ripley, as a kid, genius, obviously, even for her age, at such a young age, genius, engineer, building things to help the people in her village, to help her father. And unfortunately, people came through, killed her village, killed her father, killed her family. And that's how we got the young Anna that was so innocent to become the Anna that is too far gone, in my opinion. Now, during my reaction, I had a feeling that they were going to give us this backstory to show us a little bit of what happened to her, to make us empathize, feel for her a little bit. I don't empathize, but I can understand how she got from where she was to where she is now. You know, she started off as a kid, seeing everybody that was defenseless get murdered. And we see in this new season that her whole goal is to supply the powerless with some power. It's just a little too much power, and it is not the right kind of power. And we see how her motive, which is a pretty moral motive, decent motive, a good motive in my opinion, it's twisted by her anger, her vengeance, by Orthax. And unfortunately for her, unfortunately for Percy, there just doesn't appear to be any redemption for her. And you see how that's mirrored. Her past is mirrored with Percy's past. They're both geniuses. I comment on it all the time, but specifically in this episode, there was so much framing with the shot composition, showing that these two characters are two sides of the same coin. The only difference is that Percy had a family, had friends, had people who cared about him when he was at this point to keep him from going down that path of self-destruction that was going to bring countless people down with him. Ripley didn't have that. And I think we see at the end of that episode that Percy realized that. Episode 6, he was so hell-bent on killing her. And we see that, unfortunately, while he should have done that, in my opinion, he decided not to. And he paid the price for it. He said, you know what? This vengeance thing is stupid. If I continue on this path, I'm gonna be no better than her. Like putting a band-aid on a crazy wound. And unfortunately, that's not gonna do. I wanna do better. And throughout the season, he has been doing better. He's been wearing his heart on his sleeve more. He's being so much more honest, especially with Vex. Confessed his love to Vex, all that. And he wanted to continue with that character development and continue going on that path that he know that he could be proud of. So he put the vengeance aside and he said, I can be what my team was for me. I can be that for Ripley. It's not going to erase everything I've done. It's not going to erase everything she's done, but maybe I can be that for her. And unfortunately, while he was able to be that person for just a little while, he was only allowed to be that person for just a little while before tragedy struck and Ripley ultimately shot him. And the score that came on, the music that came on, I was told by my viewers while I was watching it that that's Matt singing the song. Everything was just so well done. Laura, everybody's line delivery, but especially Laura's during this moment was spectacular. We all got punched in the gut right there. And unfortunately, unlike all the other times that the team was brought back, or somebody who was taken out was able to be saved, there was no saving Percy. It's tragic that Vex couldn't reciprocate her feelings that we all knew she had. Percy wasn't able to help guide Anna out of that hole that she was in. And it's unfortunate that due to Percy's better nature, due to his character development, that's what ultimately got him taken out. Moving on to episode 8, Siege in Silence. It was a fun time in the beginning. I'm thinking like, oh, man, everybody's getting together. The gang's all here. The plan is immaculate. What could possibly go wrong? An ambush is what happened. And at the beginning of that episode, we see the beautiful service that was provided for Percy at his funeral. We get some stellar acting from Laura, Liam, Marisha, Ashley, Sam. They all did such a great job. And it's interesting where you see Percy was also somebody that they found in a dungeon next to Taliesin, which I caught during my reaction. We see how they end up meeting each other. And Percy said something to Vex along the lines of, I know what it's like to feel the pain of loss and know where that drive where revenge can take you. And then we just cut right to the service. And Scanlan's line delivery, Pike says, follow your heart. Scanlan basically says, well, what if that doesn't work? And we get this beautiful shot of Scanlan in front of Percy's coffin, basically saying, you want me to use my heart. But look where that got Percy. Look where that's getting everybody with their heart on their sleeve. I'm going to put up more walls. Unfortunately, Scanlan's going to have to get over that hump. And I think that Kaylee's going to be the only person who's going to be able to get him out of that. I don't even know if Pike will be able to do that for him. But yeah, we have this episode and they gather the gang. Vex is able to have this meeting with her father and finally let him know what he needs to know about himself. That I don't even think he fully allowed himself to understand or to feel the pain and the guilt that he felt and how he basically pushed that deep down inside and just had so much animosity towards his kids and put his kids through hell because he wasn't able to face his own feelings, his own emotions, his own pain. And it was a great message that Vex said, like, listen, if you're not even going to do this for me, if you're not going to help me take down Thordak, if you're not going to help us take down Thordak, at least do it for your other kid. You could say that maybe he did change his mind for her, but I think he changed his mind for all of his children as a way to say, you know what, you're right. Let me get in there and let me try to make things right for us and my late wife. And then we get to the ending of the episode and we find out it's all an ambush. And the cliffhanger was crazy too. The cliffhangers this season have been crazy. They're normally good in general, but this season, these cliffhangers have been peak. Moving on to episode 9, Thordak's Throne. We finally get to see the gang all team together and fight back still against Thordak. And everybody puts in work, man. Unfortunately, there's a lot of lives lost, but ultimately the team's able to come up ahead. You know, they're able to come out on top. And I'm so curious as to see where things are going to go from here. Because with episode 9, I initially thought that at the end of it, when Raishan teleported away, I thought that that was a necromancy sort of sigil that she had on the ground, that she was going to try to revive Thordak. It could be a thing, I don't know. But I knew that she wasn't going to necessarily aid the good guys. I knew that as soon as Thordak was taken out of the picture, which, by the way, amazing moment for Pike. And I wonder where that's going to take her. Seems like she disowned Everlight and said, it's me. It's not the armor. It's not Everlight. It's me. Who knows where that's going to go? But I'm excited to see. Amazing, beautiful shot. Amazing, beautiful scene of her absorbing Thordak's blast and then throwing it back at him. I said in my reaction, it reminded me of Gohan's father-son Kamehameha versus Cell in Dragon Ball Z. Beautiful moment. But anyways, I knew that once Thordak was taken out, that Raishan was going to try to double-cross the team, and we saw it happen firsthand. I'm so glad that Vax was able to get the finishing blow on Thordak, because that's a little bit of closure for him and Vex. Even though Vex did say it's not going to bring our mother back or the people that we lost back. If you think about it, you're saving a whole bunch of other people who may not have been able to, get brought back. Countless other people. So it was a good thing that you guys did. But I don't know where this is going to go from here. I don't know what Raishan's plan is. I don't know what's in store for Pike. Is Xerxes going to come back into the show? Because Calamity was not a thing. Xerxes, the character, was not a thing. So if things are changing like this in the show from what's been seen in the campaign stuff, I'm sure that things can go even further. Thordak's last moments, his final lines delivered by Lance in this episode. Lance, I just want to say rest in peace to that man. That man was on point literally from the first time we hear his voice and a line read all the way to the end. And I think that moving forward, it's going to be nothing but chaos, nothing but loss, and maybe even a little more tragedy. I assumed in the beginning of this season that Keyleth was going to die. Percy died, but I'm not all the way convinced that Keyleth is going to be okay. I still think she might go. I just don't know when, I don't know how, but I'm convinced it's going to happen. All in all, this batch of episodes dealt with loss, dealt with vengeance, dealt with closure, and it held a mirror to all of the characters in the group. Percy and Vex were able to be a mirror for Keyleth and Vax. Percy and Ripley. You have Pike and Scanlan putting up walls, taking walls down. Same thing for Vax. Putting walls up, taking walls down. Vex putting walls up, taking walls down. And ultimately, I don't know what's going to happen with our characters and where we're going to go from here. I feel like it's going to be a little bit of triumph mixed with the majority of sadness. Because the big bad of this whole season has been taken out. What's going to happen next? I don't know, but I'm excited to see. Let me know what your guys' thoughts were on this. I just wanted to give my little review. Leave your thoughts, guys. If you like this, give it a like. Share it around if you think somebody else will enjoy my thoughts on this. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.